Okay, hello and welcome to the Prospector mountain bike race for 2022. Here we are in sunny Alexandra. We're finally here. I think this has been the longest year leading into a race ever. There's been a lot of challenges along the way, but all we can say is we're thankful for all the riders' support. We're thankful for all our sponsors' support, and we're just thankful to be here and excited to see the racing unfold. So a big thanks to all our returning riders. We know there's a lot of you that spread the good word after last year, and we're stoked to see you guys back, and also stoked to see such a massive influx of new riders about to take on the challenge of the Prospector for the first time. Thanks to our amazing sponsors, and particularly our main event partners, which have returned for another year, and that in Design Windows and Cannondale Bikes. They've really supported us, and as we know, this is not an easy time to run events and just be in business in general. So big thanks to those guys, and we hope that you show their support. Obviously, the COVID stuff's been beaten to death, but we just wanted to say thanks for all your understanding. There's been a lot of challenges for us and for you guys as riders, so thanks for your understanding. If you've got any questions about the restrictions and the regulations that we have for this race, just get in touch, but hopefully you have well and truly received all of that information by now. Obviously it's a big loss this year is to not be able to do our social events in the evenings, which is a massive part of these kind of events, and built a great community of Prospector riders last year. We'll do our best to create that artificially with a lot of social media content. You'll still see all the awesome photos and the awesome clips wrapping up each day, straight after the racing's finished. So, let's create that community and keep that going. Just on to some general sort of event info and housekeeping stuff, I guess, really. This is primarily a teams race. Obviously we've got a few more individuals this year who've lost their teammates in the lead up, literally in the last 24 hours. But yeah, primarily it's a teams race, but you're all out there to finish and to do your best. So it's about supporting one another and getting through this as best you can. It's going to be a challenge. It's not an easy race. It's a fun course, but it's going to test you physically and technically. We want people to get through and have the best experience they can. Riding etiquette. We're all mountain bikers here. We all like to have fun on our bikes, and we all know that there's one standard policy at every mountain bike race you go to anywhere in the world, and that's just don't be a dick. That sticks well and true here, and that basically means just if you can help someone out, do it. If you can get out of the way safely, do that. If you're coming up on riders to pass them on tight single track, be friendly. Just communicate between each other and look out for each other out there. As I've just mentioned, the tracks are challenging. You will come across some stuff out there that'll push you technically. However, these tracks have all been ridden and raced in many previous events in one way or another, with the Pioneer in previous years, the Revolution mountain bike race, and obviously last year's Prospector. Everyone got through and had a great time. And like I say, it's just about riding to your ability, staying safe. If you do have to get off and walk, which is likely in some very short parts of the track, it's always best to do that, and you'll be back on your bike and moving and pretty quickly. The tricky sections are always pretty short. It's just a short little rock section that you might have to walk down, and then you're back on your bike and going. We have the huge privilege of accessing a large amount of private land in this event. Obviously, with the Martangi Station mountain bike park opening up to the public this year, that's put it a bit more on the map, but that's really only about 50% of the trails that we use. A lot of it is still on private Martangi Station land, and also private Ernskoo Station land, as well as a few other minor landowners. So without them giving us the permission, we wouldn't have a race, simply. So we need to respect that, and we ask that, well, we know that you guys will respect it because you'll appreciate the epic riding and the epic landscape. So you know, take all your rubbish with you, don't leave any traces out there. One sort of small change in some of the some of the race rules around support, which has obviously been brought in with the COVID regulations. There is no outside support allowed during the race anywhere on course. Last year we did allow it at the aid stations. Unfortunately, we can't allow it this year. So in replacement of that, we have, well, we had it last year as well, and we will do it again this year, as the bottle drop service. So those of you that are familiar with that, you drop your spare and extra bottles with us at the start of the stage. There will be bins placed at the entrance to your respective car parks, and those will need to be dropped off 15 minutes prior to your race start. We'll then load them up, send them to the aid station. You guys can grab them when you get there. You do need to be able to identify your own bottles. We will do our best. We've got a limited amount of staff working those aid stations, so really it is going to be your responsibility to find your bottle once you get there. The aid stations will be split into a tent for the A group and a tent for the B group, so you will be able to find them reasonably quickly. First aid and safety on course, we have the professional peak safety team out there supporting us again this year, and they are well versed in doing this for mountain bike events in this kind of countryside. So they will be roaming on course. There will be a tent at the race venue. We'll have medics in the tailwind Charlie behind the course, and some first aid marshals out there as well. So plenty of support out there. Pretty simple. If you're the first one to come across an accident or an incident or a rider injured, we just ask that one of the team members remains with that injured person. The other one carries on course to alert the nearest marshal that can radio back to base. Stage briefings. We will do individual stage briefings that cover the specific features of each day's course. We'll post them online and send you the links via our WhatsApp group and email. So look out for those. They'll be on there every night before the following day's stage. The prize giving, as I said before, we can't unfortunately have our big prize giving congregations. So the prize givings will for the daily awards for the main category leaders will be run throughout the day at the race venue, and then on the final day for the overall winners of all the categories and all the respective place getters will be held again in a running format at the finish line of the Sunday stage at Martangi Woolshed. So if you're in the mix, hang around. Yeah, like I say, unfortunately we can't have a wrap up in town, so we need you to do that out at race venue. Our spot prizes, we've got some awesome spot prizes from our sponsors, and we'll be drawing them randomly and handing them out as riders finish each day. But wrapping up, obviously you might have seen on social media, Cannondale have hooked us up with an epic looking Cannondale Scalpel SE frame set. This is, you know, the bee's knees XC bike. We know we all want one. This prize will be drawn while you are out on course on Sunday, so you need to cross the line on Sunday one way or another, and you might go home with that bike, so stick in there. Yeah, that's about it for this briefing. If you've got any questions, you can fire them through to us via social media or via email, info@prospectormountainbike.co.nz. Yeah, we'll follow up this video shortly with the prologue details. Thanks.